I'm going to
check
check on my
myself
iPad.
out. That's just that we're.
What do I check? Like,
Just Twitch, but you don't have to actually,
Twitch.
Mario,
Okay.
because maybe
It might be hard for you to run both the
yeah,
Twitch
exactly.
and the CodePen and the
Okay.
streaming, but I will check
So-
on my iPad. I
And
will
me
tell
too.
us.
I always have it open
Okay.
to follow the chat.
Oh, yeah. I can see myself now. Okay.
Yay! Wait, are we on?
Cool.
Curiously minded. There we are. I see us. Yay! Let me read. Sorry in advance about my throat.
Somebody has to mute because I can hear us like twice, I think.
Really?
Is it me?
No, now it's gone. Or maybe
Okay.
it was me and I just muted my own Twitch.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it was that.
Let me retweet myself. A moment. Because I said give or take a few minutes. And quote.
I hope the level of sound is good enough.
And I will.
Ah, yeah, we should announce it. Have any of you announced it so that I can
I
retweet?
tweeted it just now. I retweeted myself tweeting it 10 minutes before 4.
Okay.
Oh, great. I'm gonna retweet as well.
You normally are both tagged.
We're live now. We're live now. Come join.
Oh yeah, maybe that makes sense.
Us. Tweet it.
And who do we have? Let me see. Live.
Oh, there's Justin.
Hi.
Justin.
Oh, hi, Justin. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. You're the first one, actually. I think, yeah, there's nobody in the chat. I can see that there's only Justin.
We don't need any more.
Hey, man.
So
one person is already up.
How's our sound, by the way, Justin? Is it good? Cool back. I don't know you, but thanks for being here.
Oh, you made me a big copy. Thank you.
Yes, thanks for typing in the chat.
Hi, everybody.
How's our sound? Can you tell us?
Is it good?
Can you hear us? Are we in the same level?
Sound is good. Mary could be a little bit louder.
Yep.
Okay.
Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Sounds good. Mario could be a little louder. Is it my voice?
No, I just push it on OBS. Is it? Try to say something again.
Hello, mic check. 1, 2, 3.
Is it better now?
Probando.
Am I too loud, for example, than them?
Just hello.
Oh, Daniel is here.
Hello.
Daniel.
Bienvenido, Daniel.
What am I trying to do? I am trying to share a link. Okay.
Hello.
So it seems that the sound, please tell us soon if you hear either me or them quieter, because then I need to figure out OBS most likely if any of us are quieter. If we're on the same level, then I hope we are. Then we're good. Okay, so I guess now we can slowly kind of like start again. And you got a superstar today, yes, I guess. Yes,
we do have a superstar.
Yes, we have a superstar. So thanks everybody for joining us. And today we have a lovely guest from back home, actually from me on my end, so from Mexico. So tenemos el día de hoy a Mario Carrillo y estamos muy contentos de tener a un mexicano el día de hoy. Welcome to the stream, Mario.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. I'm excited to be here. And yeah, learning what we all love, I think.
Shaders, always more shaders. But it's been a long time coming because you've been watching the stream since like the very beginning. I think you're our only moderator.
I think I have a.
You are our only moderator.
Diamond or a crown, like if I comment or something.
Yeah,
there's like a little crown.
That's why we were confused because Daniel and 𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀 has a crown, and I thought they were moderators, but they explained that they have a crown for something.
Yeah, there's a diamond.
Ah, it's a
I think it's a different color.
diamond.
Yeah, exactly. It's a different color.
Okay.
Yours is a
Yeah.
pink diamond.
Oh, hola Juan, bienvenido. Un placer, of course. Juan is
Hola,
here
hola Juan.
from Mexico. Well, and computational mama, Ambika.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, so many
Hi
cool people
everybody.
here.
And someone's asking if the stream will be recorded. Yes, we archive everything on YouTube,
We do,
so it'll
Coolback.
be recorded.
Thanks for being
Definitely. We
here.
can
So
do that.
Coolback is a follower of you, Mario. He's here to see you,
Yeah.
Oh
basically,
really? Nice
because
to meet you.
I've never seen him here, or her,
Thank you.
or them
We're back.
Or
before.
they.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. That's why I have to say all the pronouns because I'm
Yeah.
not sure what callback
Thank you.
is. Yeah,
Um,
him.
so
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Yeah, welcome, welcome, Mario. And I'm showing off your beautiful website for now. That's what we see on Twitch. So
Oh really?
why don't you go
It's
ahead
so
and
nice.
introduce yourself for the people viewing that
Yeah,
maybe
for
they
sure.
don't know yet who you are. So maybe you want to
Yeah,
talk a little bit, and then I will
totally.
show up your website while you talk.
Okay, so yes, so I'm Mario Carrillo or Carillo, as people tend to say it. I'm from Mexico, okay, specifically a place up in the north called Culiacan, Sinaloa, and well, it's been I think around probably 4 years now that I've been into uh, creative coding, shaders, and yeah, just making weird, sometimes beautiful, interesting
Always
stuff
beautiful.
with code. And what you see right now on the screen is like a website I did to kind of commemorate that evolution that's been happening ever since, right? So I got into this, like probably many of us did through web development, but it was until I really saw like what you could do in terms of graphics that really sparked that interest to mix what is like visuals or like creativity with technology or programming or code, right? So um, and yeah, that said, what you see right now on the screen is like this infinite grid of some of those kind of explorations I was doing back at the time. Because if you see my like my Instagram feed, which I don't recommend you to do because it's quite extensive. Like I have like 1,000 posts by now. If you go like to the beginning, it's sort of that of what you see in that site. Like it's those explorations with polar polar coordinates, like sine waves animations, and which I really love. I still like, but I think it's been as I've learned an evolution from that point in my journey, right? So yeah. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you for everyone for your time, and if yeah, if you're ready, let's rock on some shaders.
Definitely. How did you discover shaders though?
How did I discover shaders? I think if I remember correctly, it was because of the stream of 𝗬𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀 or Akela.
Ah, yes.
Um, but it was like a very old video. I mean, I don't know if he's in the chat, but if he ever comes to this video on YouTube, I remember he was like one of the few that was making content related to WebGL in YouTube. So when he
So
was doing these videos, I was learning from it. But at the time, he was making his videos in Russian. So I
yeah.
so I was still looking at them because
Wait, you were
I don't.
watching them with captions?
Yeah, no.
Wow.
I mean, yes and no, because captions sometimes weren't accurate, but I could still see the code, right? So I was just, okay, here's a line of 3JS that is creating a cube and making a buffer and doing a shader. So I was just, I think that's how I got started into WebGL, and then I stumbled upon Patricia's book of shaders, which I think is one of my favorite books of learning something related to graphics and programming,
Definitely.
and yeah, I think that's how the dominoes start to fall apart, and and yeah, and explorations and a lot of researching and daily practice, and I think that's
But
that's how
how
it's become like a mix of everything.
how did
Hmm.
you get into creative coding? Because you started to do shaders for the web, right, as a developer, like when you were watching your
Yeah,
stream, or
yeah.
were you,
Oh yeah.
or
I
at
think of
that point,
course.
how did you decided, oh, now I want to do creative coding instead of just like
Yeah,
creative development?
I think it was, and I forgot to mention Daniel Shipman's videos. I think,
Of
and the
course.
the coding train. So
The
so
dawn.
of course, yeah. Like seeing Daniel Schiffman's videos was like, okay, okay, I think that's the part of technology that I want to specify myself in, which is like the more graphical, the more visual, and the more exciting, as for me, right? As for myself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you play around with basic P5 stuff then as well, like
Yeah, yeah.
CPU, or
If
you were
you like,
always
if you go like to the end and there's some of my old sketches, you'll see those kind of exploration like most of us come up by when starting with P5, which is like making a grid or like a line, like a for loop with a lot of lines that look parametric. And I don't know if you will find them, but because it's very very
you have the
unfun.
Yeah, because
patience
you
to scroll
post
through
every
it?
Yeah,
day, right? So, by the way, how
yeah.
many
It's
Yeah.
years have you gotten at this point by posting every day, Mario?
um I think this one's probably my third year. I might
Wow.
be biased, but um, it started like okay. I think it started like any days, like sort of your practice, Ilithya, which was like okay, maybe I like exploring this, and I would do one on Monday, and then come back at it at Wednesday, and then Saturday, and share it, right? Just like for my because I wanted to. But then I think it started happening so frequently that I said, okay, maybe I should try doing them every day, and that's how it got into it. And also I remember reading this very interesting blog post by 𝗙𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗀
Hmm.
where he explains like um his daily practice for the past I don't know 5 years or so, and that kind of really wanted me to make take a stab into it, and yeah, I think it's been
Definitely
going.
paid off, no? I think.
Boy, yeah, I would say so. It feels weird because if I look at the work I've been doing, like this exact um, day or the last year, it's quite different from for what I'm doing this day of 2023,
Yeah.
which is I don't know. I think it's nice to see from a different eyes, like what kind of of, of evolution or like visual outputs are different from what I've also been learning this year, right? So,
Yeah.
mhm. So that's kind of that, like in a nutshell.
And I have another question because you post daily as many people that I follow, but how do you manage to post actually every day? You know? What do
Yeah,
you do when
seriously.
you're sick? Because
Same
honestly,
question.
this is a question that I always have. What do you do if you're super sick? Or what if like somebody
Or if
close to
you're like
you
on
is
vacation.
actually sick and
Yeah.
you know
Right.
you're busy with that, or if you're super busy with work, something super hectic, or like Eliza said, what if you go on holiday? No, so
Do
or
you
Yeah.
what
like
if
batch
somebody
create
dies?
and
If
then
you have a
post?
funeral,
Right.
like
Mhm.
what the
Yeah. Of
fuck do you do
course.
in all of those funerals,
Yeah.
the
I mean,
sickness, holiday, busy? How do you manage that?
totally. That's a question I sometimes get asked. Um, I for those days like are very difficult to get into my computer. I sometimes we yeah just like have a batch sometimes when I know like okay I'm gonna go into vacations. Perhaps it's gonna be difficult to get into my computer, but I'm going like to put the extra time today or this week or whatever to create another explorations that I would do if I had the time that day. But that said, it's sometimes when I'm on vacation, I still, or like if I'm outside, if I try to bring my computer whenever I can, it's just like open it, and it doesn't need to be something made up from scratch. It,
Mm.
it, it can, like maybe you change a number or a frequency value or play with colors, and there's that, it's a totally different output, and just go with it. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I've had like those kind of moments where I would just reuse something I've already done a day before or so, because there's this special cases like you said, maybe you don't know, you had a funeral or
Mm,
something unpredictable that
Yeah.
life happens, and
mm,
for those things, yeah, I kind of, it's useful to have some spare work to share, right? If you
Lying
want to
around.
continue,
Yeah.
right? Because technically, I mean, it would break that daily practice, but in I think if you conserve that consistency that you've been building for for that for building up knowledge or like a practice or whatever. If you keep that up, no matter if you share daily, I think that's what really valuable
That's the
out of the.
important part. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. I think that's really what's the reward of right of doing that.
And so like I like the idea of like changing a small thing and then having that be what
Hmm.
carries you through, right? The daily. But then sometimes I've noticed it with you. I've seen it with like 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀 Sean,
Hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And even with Zach as well with his dailies. Sometimes you'll see this like comment thread, and then one day it'll just like really switch suddenly. And it's like, where does that
Mm.
come from? Like one day you just decide, oh, I figured out a new trick. I'm going to implement like a new technique, and then it completely changes the trajectory of your dailies.
Hmm.
Or maybe
Yes.
you were bored about the
Yeah,
topic that you were
Yeah,
exploring, I
or like
suppose.
you said, Eliza, like you like to you would like to explore this other I don't know, technique, algorithm, or image processing effect, and that takes you uh, to a different path, right? Because as for example, like my last explorations I've done, it,
Mm.
which are like colorful or like tinkling, uh, I have
definitely. They
yeah,
sparkle, the ones you
yes,
posted recently. Wow. So
right. So
many of
like
my friends messaged me asking me if I understood how you did it. Like I sent you a message the other day and, and I told them what you said and they're like, "What? There's no 2D
right.
SDF anywhere in there?" And I was
Uh,
like, I don't
No,
know.
no, I know. Yeah, I would have like if I didn't know how it's done, I would think the same that it's some kind of ray trace light or global illumination. I don't know, but it's not. It's just like a post processing effect uh, on top of a geometry animation, right? So
Cool.
it's
Cool. I'm gonna
but
tell him it. I'm gonna tell him that you said that. His brain will break.
yeah, cool. But yeah,
Yeah,
Awesome.
cool,
Well,
cool.
your dailies are extremely impressive. And every time someone on here talks about them, I'm always like, okay, this is the time
Yeah.
I'm going to come to it. I'm going to do a daily. But I really feel like 2024 will be my year, guys.
yeah,
I'm saying it out loud. I'm
yeah,
committing.
Yeah, no pressure, honestly,
No
yeah. No
pressure.
pressure. I
and
think it's
sometimes I believe for you in your sense, Eliza, I think you do a lot
Yeah,
that you don't share, right? So it's like
definitely.
sometimes I think there's people like you, artists, that you're doing your practice, but you don't necessarily feel like sharing. So, and that's
Yeah,
okay too. It's very valid, no?
totally.
So it's up how
true.
you feel. So
But I
never,
feel
I
like
would say never
also,
feel pressure to, do what the
yes,
next person is doing. So.
don't feel pressured to share, but then also don't be like me. Don't be like Eliza. She gets caught in the trap of like imposter syndrome and then doesn't
Come
share
on.
and then just like hides.
No, Eliza.
Yeah, it's like
Come on. By the
I
way, I
mean
wanted I'm sorry. Yeah?
no, I was just going to add that I think it's if you don't do dailies or do it, it's okay. At least as far as you're like learning and wanted to improve your work or your practice, you don't need to show it, or if you like to show it, that's okay. So
True. I mean, it is a nice way to connect with others. Like that's how we all met,
yes,
right? So I
yes,
will
that's
say,
right.
Hmm.
don't
I
hold
would,
back if you do want to share.
And
yeah,
your work
that's
is
definitely
beautiful,
one.
Eliza, by the way, for
Oh,
your imposter syndrome, no?
thank
So
you.
every time that you post rarely, so it's
Yeah.
super nice to see your beautiful
Thank
3D
you.
work, especially. So you're really into
Likewise.
3D.
Yeah,
So,
both of your works are exquisite.
Thank
I,
you.
I wanted to give a shout out for, because maybe you know him, Mario. His name is 𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀. Um, he's a
Is
big,
it? Oh, I think. Yeah. Well,
do
I
you know
think it's
who I mean?
Etienne. Did
Yeah,
he
from
message?
Montreal, I think he is also like you,
Montreal.
Eliza.
All right. Nice. Hello,
He's
Etienne.
a big follower of you, and he had asked me privately in messages for like a year and a half to invite you to the stream, or maybe 2 years
Oh,
already.
really?
He has asked me like, when are you gonna
Oh,
invite
that's
Mario?
so
When are
cool.
Yeah.
So
That's
shout
nice.
out to him because I told him yesterday, finally Mario's coming.
Thank you.
Yay.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Now that I remember. I mean, I don't know him personally, but I see like every time I post something, Etienne is one of the first like who likes it or retweet it. So very much appreciated. I'll send you a message after this.
Yes,
So
and him
thank
because
you.
he really wanted to hear about your
Yeah.
practice of
Right. And
shaders.
fun fact, Etienne. I think Etienne is French, right? That name.
Yes.
And my
Probably.
second name is Esteban, which I think is homonym of in
Ah, is
Spanish.
it the Spanish version of
Oh,
Iturbide?
Yes,
really?
I think
Oh,
it
that I
is
didn't
right.
know.
So my
Of a
second name is
town?
like Esteban. So that's fun fact. That's why I'm everywhere. Like Mario ECG is because Mario is my first name. Esteban is my second name. Carrillo is my first last name, and
And you
Galvez
have
is
another
my
last name,
second.
right? So
Yeah, so
what
it's
is
like yeah,
the second last name?
it's Galvez. So here in
Well, you're
Mexico we
like
have
me. You have endless names. I have many
yeah,
names, but I don't
Yeah,
share
me
yeah.
too.
them
I
with
have
you.
four. I have four as well,
Four?
of course.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like Mario. Just like
I
Mario.
have
Two,
five.
two, two names. You have
I
five?
win.
You
I
have
have
many.
Oh,
Mary,
what the
Anna,
fuck?
Eliza, Struthers, Jobin.
So
Oh, yeah. So
Mary
three
is
names?
Mary your first name?
Yeah, I have like
Marianne.
technically there's supposed to be a hyphen, but they didn't put one on my birth certificate.
So
So
then
in
it's three
France, I'm
names.
Mary space Anna space Eliza on my passport. It's very long.
God.
Struthers hyphen Jobin.
Chopin.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
Wow.
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
But I love it because the acronym of my name translates to MAE, which could stand for my alter ego, which I really like. It's like an artist pseudonym. I use it
Hmm.
when I make sound. Sounds
Nice,
kind of like alien-y, or it looks
Ah,
alien-y
okay, okay. Yeah,
nice,
when you
nice.
see it. But
Like that.
yeah,
yeah, yeah, me too. And also that you have two last names for being like from Canada, because normally you have
yeah,
one, right? So your parents
yeah.
decided on
Usually by
include
default you
both.
take the dad, but my parents were
Yeah,
like, no.
very Latinos, cool. So
Yeah.
like us,
Yeah,
that we have
here it's
two.
very normal in Spain. Everywhere they ask you for your two
Yeah,
family
in
names, and
Mexico
I was
too,
like,
no?
eh?
So in Latin America it's the
Yeah,
same. It's both
yeah.
names are very important. Just the rest of the world is wrong with one last name.
Everyone else is right.
We are right having like more names. Okay, so should we
What
jump
is?
into what we want to do today a little bit?
Yeah, what's
And
the
then we can.
topic? We have two exciting things that we're doing.
Yeah.
Yes, tell us, Mario.
Yeah, tell us.
Okay, so I think um, it would be nice to talk a little bit about this library Patricio has created for 3JS, which is called glsl pipeline.
Mm.
So I've been using it for probably I don't know 3 months now or a little bit more, and since I found it or knew he was creating it, I said, "Oh, I think this is really helpful to make not just shaders, but kind of have a workflow to work with post processing effects or like compositing stuff, right?" So as you see, it's called in the screen. It's called glsl pipeline, and what it
Mm,
does is that if you are familiar with glsl viewer, I'm a little bit familiar with glsl viewer, haven't been using it that much lately,
Mm.
but it has like its workflow like to make shaders, and the basic idea is that you create one single shader where you define I think this are called macros
Yeah.
that
mm-hmm.
kind
Yeah.
of create sub shaders, or as he likes it to call, branches the shaders into
Mm-hmm.
creating different or stages of 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 your scene or whatever.
Would
So
those be like
imagine,
passes?
is it
Is
sorry?
it like render passes or is it different?
Yes, I think yeah, no, it does that on behind scenes. So,
Okay.
but it makes it really easy for you to avoid making that setup because I once tried doing like multiple passes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really it's really nice if you want to learn what it does or how it works. Like this making shader passes or just render passes or effect passes. But as soon as you want to make a lot of them, it starts to be kind of
Yeah.
tricky, and I think GLSL pipeline is a very nice tool to that takes that and
Makes
you
it
just can
Like a
manageable.
worry it
bridge,
or
basically,
mhm,
right? So he built a
right
bridge for that. So
mhm,
and I'm gonna just make a quick commercial for Patricio on the screen. So I'm gonna put the book of shaders. So for
yeah,
people that still maybe
Yeah, book
are
of
new to
shaders.
shaders and don't know about Patricio, you
yeah,
It's
should
the
check out the
place to
book of
start
shaders.
for sure.
Exactly, it's a great place to start. Open source, and Patricio, as we were speaking, have done a lot for the shader community. A lot of open
yeah,
source
Yeah.
tools, including the one that we're about to explore today. So maybe he's even, or he
Yeah.
will watch this later. He's gonna be so happy that we're like
Hope so.
spreading the word
Yeah.
about
So
his tools.
Yeah.
big thanks to Patricio for all the
Always,
work
forever
being.
thanks. And to Jen, I have to say, they did
Mm,
do it together.
yes,
Yeah,
Jethro.
true, true. Yeah, and
She's
sometimes
the
I do forget, but the
mathematician.
Book of Shaders, exactly. Both
Yeah.
of
Right.
them did it, Jen and Patricio. Yeah.
And I
And
think they're working on the next chapters.
mm,
I'm
I
very
Yes,
saw I
excited.
saw
yes.
a tweet where they
Mm,
announced that they're finishing the book, which is
yeah,
like, oh,
What?
it's
I
like,
missed that.
yeah,
yeah, yeah, they are.
I think I saw it
Shut
like
up.
a couple weeks ago, something
But
like
I
that.
think you have to subscribe
Oh,
to the Patreon, by the way,
I'll
I'll
subscribe to
for
subscribe.
anything.
it.
Who
So
who
yeah, yeah.
better to throw money at than
Yeah.
Yeah, of
seriously?
course, of course, of course. But I just
So
mean
worth
that I
it.
think it's different than the one that is like totally for free right now. So I think you have to
Mm.
subscribe to the Patreon and then you will be able
I
to
I
think
got
get the rest
so
of
they
it.
turned off
mentioned. uh,
Twitter because of the change of branding that I have missed like so many things I'm realizing now. Sorry, continue. I interrupted you. So
No,
cool.
I was just going to add that I think when did you take that course? He and Jim
Hmm.
made
We
like
did, we did
yeah,
last year.
like a
Yeah.
year ago, like the shader
Uh,
prototyping workshop. I think they mentioned there that they were going to continue with the book, but they were
yeah.
looking for funding or something like that. So
That's
maybe the
why they did
Ah,
the
Patreon
Patreon, I
is
think.
the way.
And that's why I think, as I understood, they are like for now, if you subscribe, you will be able to see this, which it makes sense, because of course, like, I mean, they've done
Hmm.
so much for free
wow.
and it
Yeah,
takes time,
so
right?
much.
So it's the least that we could do to support them, of course.
Yep.
But
So
yeah, so
cool.
exciting to learn GLSL
Yeah.
pipeline. I'm very excited,
Right.
Mario, because I use GLSL Viewer every day for my any days. So
Hmm.
I really wanted to learn how to
Yes.
put it
And
on
if
the
you're
web.
familiar with 3JS and you like sometimes working or porting that to the web, I think
Yeah.
it's a great
Mm,
way, like you said, to bridge that GLSL viewer code
mm,
or into like WebGL or 3JS,
mhm,
whatever. So
mhm.
And so
if
then is the workflow GSL viewer Lygia and now this new package, or is this new package part of Lygia?
no,
No.
like GLSL viewer is just a tool to make
Yeah.
Mhm,
multiple passes, if you like to see it like that.
Ah,
But it
okay.
really integrates very well with Lygia, right? As you would think of, because
Yeah.
of course Patricio made all his tools.
Yeah.
And so what I did, like for the setup, we're looking at the screen, is that I created this like the setup you've been using for your past streams, but
mhm.
change it to work with GSL pipeline, and also added Lygia to it.
Perfect.
So if you
Oh,
Which
want,
maybe
we're
I
very
should
excited
add
about.
in the
Let's
screen.
talk
Let
about
me,
that. Yeah.
I'm gonna
mm,
show just the link of Lydia on screen so that people see it too. This is a shader library, not a tool, but a library for the ones that are curious. And you can use Lydia not only with the GLSL viewer or GLSL pipeline, but you can use it in P5, in 3ES, as you see
mm,
here, Unity, touch the sign. No, Unity, no, I lied, right? So
It,
sorry,
no,
touch the
normally they
signer.
have, there's HLSL demos
yes,
in there.
Oh no,
hmm
I
Unity, yeah,
have
yeah, yes, I didn't lie.
I have
True.
historically struggled to run Lygia on my PC,
hmm
but now that there's the CDN, we have no excuse. It's
Yeah,
perfect. And if anyone has figured out how to run it on PC, DM me, please, because I would love to use it. Yeah.
and it's amazing how many different integration is like nowadays. Because I remember when
mm,
Lydia just was starting, it was like in 3JS, P5, and processing, and I think open frameworks,
Yeah. And
and
there's
it's
touch
now
and GLSL
designer.
viewer.
What?
yeah.
I think I missed that
Yeah,
also.
touch
Uh,
the
I really
signer.
missed so many things
uh,
along the way.
Yeah.
but you see, like even in Figma, like
Mm.
Minecraft,
Crazy.
OGL. I just saw
OGL,
the logo of OGL.
What
Cool.
in React also? That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot of stuff, which is very nice.
That's
Mm.
really cool. I need to do a renewed deep dive into Lygia.
Yep.
Yeah.
So cool.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what we're using today. That's fun.
Mhm.
And on top of that, we're doing feedback.
Yes. So
Yeah.
fasten your seatbelts.
Buffers,
Like,
buffers.
like, uh, okay. So I don't
Can
know
you
if you
can you
want. We can.
first quickly take us through the how to do the setup?
Yep.
And I like you talk and I will try on the screen, to show,
Okay.
for example, tell me if I should show the JavaScript first and then I
Sure.
can look at show the link,
Uh,
sorry. That
if you want, we can start with the JavaScript,
Yeah.
yeah.
and maybe it would be easier if you could like close the
The
shader
visual.
error
No?
view
Yeah.
and yeah, the functions Sean did, just like to save space, or if you want to.
Oh, true. If you just click on line 6 and 39, right?
Right,
They
exactly.
minimize.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Right, so it's really like very easy to get started with glsl pipeline. um, I like to define it as this variable that it's going to instantiate the library or the pipeline, and I usually call it as composer, or I think the repo calls it sandbox, but for some reason I think of it as composer, because if you really see or like integrate lithya and glsl pipeline, you start to compose like effects, right? So that's why the root of calling it composer, but you can name it whatever you want.
Mm.
So if you open the init function
Oh, sorry.
on line
Init
73,
function. All right. Mhm. Yeah, I'm here.
right? Is it
Oh, here you
okay?
call it composer actually.
Yes. So if you open in the init function on line 73 and go to line 80, that's where you initiate the GLSL pipeline, which just call a GLSL pipeline, and you need to pass the renderer to it, right? As
In
a
this case.
Yeah, you pass a renderer. You can optionally pass a second parameter, which takes a object of uniforms that you can use in your shader. But for now, I think
Mm,
we just need to pass the renderer
yeah,
for making it work,
yeah.
and you just need to like load a shader after that. So you call
Which is what
composer
they do.
load in line
Yeah,
84,
yeah.
and pass a fragment shader, which is the one we're gonna see after this, right? And after that you just literally call composer that render main, and that takes a that takes hold of it. Like, you don't need to worry about rendering a camera or a scene or whatever, but
Mm,
just kind of like I mean calling render that main, and that takes it, like, for making a 2D shader, which is the one we're going to be working on right now.
mm.
And that's literally it.
Yay.
I saw, I'm showing in the screen that you're linking the CDN link for GLSL pipeline, basically. So, which is
Mm.
really good.
Oh
That's really
yes,
cool.
and well, if the CDN is a fork I did last night to work with
Oh, you did it.
CodePen, right?
Okay, I thought it was from. Okay, all right.
Right.
Thank you.
But
Yeah.
I might ping Patricio to know like what he thinks, maybe uh,
Mm-hmm.
to do like a version that works just as a CDN for, in this
Mm-hmm.
case, for CodePen. I had to remove like ES modules and all that stuff to make it work.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
glad I
Well,
did it
thank you
last
so
night
much.
because I spent like
Yeah,
an
it
hour
takes time.
and a half,
I
two
was
hours.
thinking because you have to clean then all of that code, but thank you to make it work
Yeah.
for code
So
pen.
So
cool.
maybe if we were doing it like today, it would be like 3 hour long stream. So
Because the
so
users
yeah.
are gonna be, I mean, the viewers are gonna be happy because normally we share the pen eventually.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
so then they might be able to get, this code. So yeah, let us know
Okay.
what Patricia said, if it was okay
Mhm.
that you use that.
Sure. And
Cool.
well, that's it for the setup, really. Like, for
Yeah, it's very
well,
easy.
there are two things. There are two types of setups. The one we're using is for making like 2D shaders, which, think of it like what you see on Shader Toy, right? Which
Mm-hmm.
is just a shader, no geometry as it's called, like
Mm-hmm.
in terms of making a scene, adding cubes, adding whatever 3D
No Ray
geometry
March.
goes on
Mm-hmm.
vertices. Uh huh. So this is like 2D shader. But if you want to make a, if you want to work with GLSL pipeline with a 3D scene or a geometry, you need to use another method that but it's quite easy. You just need to pass a camera and in a scene, and that's it, I think. But you can see that, you can check that in the documentation. But for now, I think we'll stick with just doing a 2D
Mm-hmm.
shader and
Yeah.
seeing how the library works, right?
Mm.
So cool. So wait,
Oh,
everything that I was messaging you about with my own feedback thing, I can rebuild with this,
I think you can, um, but it might be a little bit more work
probably. Because
for,
it's
because
3D.
you
I
need
mean,
to,
it's Yeah,
right? Because you need to um, pass data textures and then grab
true.
that texture. So, and since 3JS has this GPU
GPU
class
thing.
that is more in touch with that, I think you're better with that for now. But
Okay,
that's it. You can try it,
we'll
and
experiment, but cool.
yeah,
Okay,
you
okay,
might
okay.
learn a lot in the process. So
I mean, always, you always do know.
mhm,
Okay, cool,
cool.
cool, cool. I'm
Okay,
excited.
so I think that's it for the setup.
Okay,
Now
in the
maybe
JavaScript. Okay.
we can go
To the
into
shader.
yeah, because yeah, the CSS is just like boilerplate, right? So
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
right,
That's
yeah,
cool,
boilerplate.
yeah. There's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing there.
right.
And then our
So
Okay.
lovely shader.
So tell us
okay,
in.
so for the shader, before messing around with it,
Mhm,
like if you've used GLSL viewer or GLSL pipeline, what you need to do first is if you're going to be making a feedback effect or using a if you want to use a texture, you need to define them at the top of as a uniform, right? Um, so there are types of textures that GLSL viewer checks. I mean GLSL pipeline, which is U double buffer. I think it's
Oh,
also. Did something happen? Oh.
no, no, we just have to take a commercial break for a second in 15 minutes. Sorry. It's
We
the Google
do?
Meet. Like, yeah, the
What the
Google Meet.
fuck? I don't
All
No,
right.
it's
understand
because
when
you
I.
don't pay. Sorry to
But I've
interrupt.
been in calls with other people and it doesn't.
No, but when you're more than
This is
two,
so
when you're
disturbing.
more than two people
Ah,
and you don't
okay,
pay,
okay, 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 okay.
they give you a limit of an hour.
Oh,
But
Because
if
I
really?
you,
was just on a
it'll be
call
like
in
a,
the morning for 3 hours with one person and nothing
Oh,
happened.
I
yeah,
didn't
with
know
two
about
people,
that.
they don't care. Yeah,
Right.
it's
Okay.
about
Oh, but
like
Now we
I
will
mean,
do
I don't have a
a
problem.
bathroom
bathroom break in
bathroom
in
break. Yeah.
10 minutes. Yeah.
Yes.
I go
Sorry.
for
I
water.
didn't mean to interrupt.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, is you define a keywords for the textures that GLSL pipeline automatically search in the shader and lets you use them after that. So, for example, here on the top we have U double buffer 0, which is if you're going to plan to making feedback stages in your shader, and to use that um, texture, you need to access it by defining this. Is it? Are they called macros? I don't know. If
I
like
think
if
Mm-hmm.
so.
right
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
by
think so.
defining right by defining a macro that takes um, that this this also keyword, which is U double buffer 0. So imagine if right now I think right now as it is
Mm-hmm.
it's yeah it's well let me just remove the effect. It should reload. We see just a circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine like if you want to make a feedback effect, you need to okay declare the texture at the top,
Mm-hmm.
then declare the macro that says okay I'm going to be using double buffer 0, and whatever you put inside the macro or that if statement is the shader that is going to be executed just for the thing you do for the ping pong effect or the double
Mm-hmm.
buffer or whatever. So
The
think about it
painting
like
effect, kind of,
right, like if you
because
have if
you're gonna see.
statements, if you have if statements in the shader, uh, if that would be like if you were doing it manually, like separate files
Mm-hmm.
of shaders that make into your uh, composer pipeline or render passes or whatever, right? So, but now like you can define all that stuff in a single file.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that becomes
Wow.
really handy.
Yeah.
That's what I love
Wow.
when I saw that. And you know, when we took this workshop from Patricio last year, and he
Mhm.
explained this, I didn't understand it until this year in the summer when I wanted to try buffers, and I was like, oh my God. And it's so
Mhm.
simple because normally to set up buffers with 3S manually, I think it's so painful.
It is
Mm.
very, trust me.
Mhm.
It
Mario
is very
literally woke up at
painful.
8 a.m. Mexico time to help me install my buffers last year or set up my buffers last week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
So
pain
yeah,
in
this is
the
very
butt.
cool.
Yeah, and yes, like I said, it's really handy for all that stuff.
Mm,
And well, I think maybe it would be nice to explore a little bit
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
into this. Like I said, think of it like inside the double buffer if statement, everything you do because it's like in a ping pong or double buffer
mm-hmm,
thing, it accumulates over time, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Right.
yeah,
It's like
So
going
like,
for people who
P5
don't know what a yeah
and you don't have a background. You know, when you're like playing with the animation in P5 and you don't put the color of the background, then you have this kind of buffering effect that
mhm,
yeah,
it's
because the
following
draw
you.
call isn't
Yeah,
being
the draw
called
code
to cover it.
exactly. So it's over
Yeah.
and over and over. So it's basically this. So you're like,
yeah,
as you move, if you start moving something or animating something inside this like ping pong thing, then you see every last step of the thing.
yeah.
So that's why it's like
I
Gaussian
also like to
effect.
see it like. I mean, like everyone. I'm still learning a lot about this, right? So especially like feedback effects and all that stuff. If I come back at it a week or a year or months after this, I need to revisit it because it's kind of confusing. Um, but what I like to see it like is like you're kind of like sampling the texture of the double buffer kind of gives you access of to like the previous frame,
Previous
right?
frame,
Uh
yeah.
huh.
Mm,
Well, because
mm,
especially in shape, like in P5, it's easy to understand, I think, with the draw call because everything is
Mm-hmm.
on the CPU. It's happening one after the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
sequential.
In shader world, everything happens at once. So the idea
Mm,
of like accessing the previous frame isn't a given. So that's why
mm,
you need to write it to a buffer, which is just an array. Buffer is
Mm-hmm.
such a
mhm.
scary, it used to, for me, a very scary, intimidating word. And then I realized it was just the square brackets. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Square bracket.
okay. It's just the square brackets. That's fine. Just
Yeah.
grabbing data from an array. I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you read it back in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
Yes.
should we do the short break now? How are we doing?
Yeah,
I cannot
sure.
see
All
the
right.
clock.
Before
So
we, yeah,
yeah, before
let's
we're
take a
caught up,
little
right? So
water break.
Right.
We'll be back in like 3 minutes.
yeah, take three
We'll be
minutes,
right
people.
back
Be
for
Yeah,
the
back.
good
see you
stuff.
soon.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
See you later.
gonna mute us. Okay, we're back.
Should I do like a commercial? We're back. Okay. Something like that.
Oh wait, no, that's the wrong meet actually. So that's why it was not moving. Now we're
All right.
back.
Ah,
It was just the old photo. But yes, you can do the commercial thing, Mario. Now. Very late.
We're back.
I
We're
wanna
back.
I wanna make like a jingle. Like, do you guys know the Reading Rainbow show? I want a jingle like Reading
Oh,
Rainbow.
I don't know,
You
probably. But I know what a jingle is like.
Yeah, yeah. I'll send you the video later. I don't know if you ever watched Star Trek, but the guy that plays Geordie LaForge also did a children's show where he would read people books, and it was called The Reading Rainbow, which is where the coding train I think comes from with the rainbow. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Dan Schiffman is half inspired from the guy who paints, and half inspired by Reading Rainbow. That's
Nice.
my theory.
We should ask him.
Anyways, so now
All right.
Okay.
we
Let's
get to the
shake.
good stuff.
Yeah, back to
Cool.
Something back
Well, I think we could just mess around with it.
Mhm.
What I commented before resuming the stream was line 18, which, as I said, any changes you make to the coordinates that are sampling the double buffer here in line 19, where we're sampling that double buffer. So if we change the STs or the coordinates that are sampling them by a little, they get offset they get accumulated over time, right? Because of feedback stuff. So if I can comment that, uh, that's where the trails happen, right? I think, yeah,
Mm,
Yay!
right.
mm.
And yeah, what I was doing before this is, I mean, black and white is a little bit boring sometimes. It depends on
I
what you're
think
trying
it's
to achieve.
okay for now
It's,
to
I mean, for
focus
now,
on it.
yes. But probably if you've seen, like, if you're going through lithya, there's a lot of functions to use, right? We're currently using ratio, which makes the coordinates take into account the aspect ratio if you pass the resolution of your screen, and the and a circle function that is the SDF function to draw a circle, right?
Uh,
Which just takes I think it takes the UVs or the coordinates and a radius.
I
So
So
it's
think
a
if
it's
distance
yeah,
function. So it's a distance function, no? So you have
it's
for
what
the
he
UV.
puts in the cards. No, I think.
yeah, so behind scenes, I think it's taking the length of positions and subtracting the radius, right? So if you change
I'm
that
gonna
value,
try something
mhm,
just really quick. So bright distance instead, and it still should be a circle or
Uh,
no? It's
why?
broken because
There's no red
distance,
highlighting.
mm,
Interesting.
but it's
maybe in the console, I don't know.
No, because usually the debugger will
Uh-huh.
highlight in red where the error is. That's so
Okay.
strange.
yeah. Oh, I know what it is. So when you
Is
use
it?
distance, you need a vector 2,
Okay.
not only one, but 2.
Vector 2 or 3?
Yeah, a
3.
vector 2 because it's position x and y. Oh, sorry,
Okay,
that was
then.
my typo. It should be vector 2 because you need to position x and y
So
the circle.
what I think is happening is that vector 2.0.5 is kind of this where the origin of the circle
You
is
would
going
need
to
a
be.
step
Mm-hmm.
function, I think, to make it a proper circle.
I'm just
So that would make
messing
the
around
circle.
because it would be like, I'm just very curious what that function in lya means, you know? Oh.
I feel like I'm pretty sure that
There we have.
Oh, interesting.
I feel like you definitely can peek actually into the examples,
Yeah.
no?
Hmm.
Okay, now we have the
SDS.
circle back. Yeah,
Here we
Nice.
go.
but it was like smaller. So basically this is it. And you
Hmm.
had it opposite, so if we want the other background, we would start first with the circle, and then we would like change the if else statement the opposite. So
Hmm.
that
Nice.
so
Yeah.
I'm just geeking
Yeah.
around
That's
for the people watching and maybe like, oh, but how do you draw a circle? So but you see
yeah.
for the people watching, you see normally to draw the circle you have to do a step function, then a distance function, and then think about the coordinates and the radius, and then the other one was a one-liner, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's lija. So it really makes the world simple.
so much easier.
Hmm.
But then I'm looking at if you look in Lydia in the GitHub, the code is not what I thought it would be.
No,
There's like an if and def.
yeah,
I thought it would just be like the circle code.
yeah. No, 𝗏3 uses a lot of macros
Ah,
for most of the functions that Lygia has.
okay.
Yeah, it's, that's
He
good.
does like all the heavy lifting for us. That's so
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah.
I think he's doing that because he said that it's more performant, right? So when you use
Yeah. Well,
macros
macros
instead
get
of
calculated before runtime, if I understand that correctly. So where like the main function repeatedly calculates for every pixel the calculations continuously, the macros are actually calculated before the main function runs
Hmm.
or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I
Oh,
think it's
Patricia's
also
in the
like that.
chat. Hi,
Oh,
Patricia.
nice.
Okay.
Welcome,
Hi,
Yay.
Patricio.
Patricio. Hola.
Bienvenido,
Estamos-
hola. Hemos hablado mucho de
Hi,
ti.
Patricia.
Hola, estamos hablando de pipeline, GLSL pipeline. Yeah,
Yes,
well,
yes.
maybe he can correct us if we're wrong, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
please correct us
but
if we keep saying things.
yeah,
We're making educated guesses about how everything works.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
telling how awesome your yeah GLSL pipeline is, and it's
Mm-hmm.
very easy for making passes or effects or compositing stuff, which we're trying to create now. So
Actually, since you're here, Patricio, is the replay of your workshop where you explain your whole pipeline still available for
is
purchase?
it
I wonder. I want
But
to
you
rewatch
pay
it.
for
I
the
was there.
workshop. You pay for the
I
workshop
did
already
already, yeah,
because
but
you
if
were.
people in the
So I think
chat
you have like.
haven't,
Ah,
I think
true,
it
true.
is still available.
oh,
Yay.
nice,
Okay,
nice.
let me Google that and stick it in the chat.
Is there going to be a new course anytime soon?
Oh yeah, let us know. You can.
Yeah,
We can make commercial for you, Patricio. Whatever you want to announce.
yeah, yeah.
Workshop.
Which way the way we were trying to figure out the circle function from Lige as well, trying to explain here how you did that with
Hmm.
the step and the instance function and how Lige simplifies instead of using the step and the instance and all of this. You just write circle and two parameters and then you're done.
Hmm. That's right. And what I was gonna say is maybe we can start by messing around with uh, other functions that Lygia has in the space directory, which is
Yeah.
Hmm.
uh, if you if I copy and paste this and instead of ratio scale so and use it, um, so st equals scale the coordinates by 0.99. I think it would expand what we already have on screen, right? Which kind of looks like if you had a flashlight.
Where
Wow,
which
so
line
pretty.
which line are you? Ah, line 20. Sorry, I got
Yes. So this
sidetracked.
what I wrote here in line 20 would
Hmm.
be the same as if I did this, like st minus equals zero point 0.5, st times equals
Mm.
0.99, and then come back to what I already had, right? So, but
I learned about this technique like a few weeks ago.
uh-huh. Yeah, you're kind of moving the
Yeah.
origin, then
Mm.
transforming and coming back
Yeah.
to the origin, right? And
And now you get
which
it
I
all in
think,
one line.
right,
Mm.
which is interesting because that's how, like, if you move out of tool or paradigm, you go to processing or P5. That's
Mm.
I think that's what pop push and pop or does. Like if I
Oh
might be
yeah,
wrong,
true, true,
but
true.
uh-huh,
Push and pop basically is
right,
no.
Totally right.
But wait a second. Push and pop, what it's doing is that it's keeping what you do independent of the next thing that you're gonna code, so that that doesn't move everything else.
right. I mean,
Just what you
there's
have inside.
of course some matrices involved in running those functions, but what I like to see it like is okay, we're
Mm.
like whatever we do between push and pop, or in this case,
Mm.
0 minus 0.5 and plus 0.5 is what isn't going to affect what you do after that for the coordinates, right? Because you're moving the origin, translating the origin, and then resetting it back after you transform it by
That's a
0.99.
very good way to put it. Like then it's
Um,
independent of the next thing,
mhm.
right? So.
But let's get rid of this because it's a little bit
Mhm.
more cumbersome and just like use scale st and times 0.99, right?
Can you leave it there, by the way, commented? Can you
Oh, sure. Sorry.
replace?
Yeah.
Because I
Yes. Yes. For
sometimes I
people.
like
Yeah.
exactly
Right.
I like to That's
you see
why I
the
left
difference.
the step function below the circle, just because it might be like,
Cool.
even for me myself, to look at this later and to remember like, oh,
Yeah,
this is what scale
that's
is
great.
actually doing, you know? So
Hmm.
mm.
And yeah, so it looks like the sun, or if you're looking at the moon right now.
Mm.
Uh, so maybe we can I don't know, we could start adding color to it by looking
Mm.
at cosine. Well, it's
Mix.
it's it's not called cosine pilot right here in Lygia, but it's called palette, which is
Cool.
Oh,
right,
okay.
the function that creates yeah, cosine pilot, as sometimes we like to call it, right? So
Shout
we
out
include
to
it.
Inigo Quiles as well, who
Yeah.
Yeah, big shout out to
made the.
Inigo Quiles for all what he puts out there
Maybe
in
I
terms of
should show his
graphics.
website. Yeah, I'm gonna show it on screen for a second. So
Lygia,
this is the color
it's
palette that it's
color
integrated in Lygia
palette,
from Inigo. So
and then
this is the color palette,
what it. So it's
and you're
oops, sorry.
sending it up.
Okay, wait, just so that I'm following properly. If you're like looking at the Lygia repo and you go into palette, there's like so many different
Mhm.
ones. So which one
Oh
are
really?
we?
What do you
It's
Let
like a
mean?
me
folder.
Are you
let
in
me
the
see.
repo? Let me go to the repo myself.
Let me
Yeah.
Did
see.
you
So
click on
Lygia,
examples, or what are you looking
Uh,
at, Eliza?
Lygia.
I went to Lygia, pure Lygia.
So it's
Oh no,
color.
pure
So it's
Lygia.
in the
Sorry,
color
Lygia. Yeah,
folder.
Lygia.
Yeah, so I
And
went to
then
color and then I went to palette and then I was like, oh, so many things, so cool. Like fire, heat
Right. I
maps.
think. Are you in the
uh,
like if you do color and then palette.glsl? Are you in that file?
Is it a single file?
Really? Yeah, I think it's this one. Like if I put it in
LMNOP.
the
Ah,
in
I
the chat.
see. Sorry, my bad. There's also a folder. No, but there's an actual just like straight up
Hmm.
GLSL file.
Yeah,
You're
that's the
right.
one we're using.
That's what we want.
From Inigo
Cool.
Quiles. And what it takes, I think it takes a float value and four back 3 values.
Yeah,
So it's I like
for the different waves, no?
right. So it's, I think that the first one, I really like one video from Charles where she
Explain
uh, she
like
mm.
explains like this, which is really really nice. Where she says that the first one is kind of the brightness of the color,
yeah.
the
Mhm.
second one is a contrast. Like
Oh,
let me
can we
put this
find this
like
video? Do you
brightness.
remember? Would be good to share. I'm gonna
I
share
think
it.
There's
if
also
you YouTube Charles shaders, it would be
Charles
one of. Well,
Charles.
shout out to her, by the way, if
shout out to
if
Yeah,
she ever
Char,
yeah,
Queen of
always as
Shaders.
well.
contrast
That's how I learned shaders with Charles.
Yeah.
three
I'm pasting in the chat also. Oh,
contrast
Patricia said it's an
awesome.
error in Lygia that doesn't show files that have names of folders. Sorry, it's
Okay.
Yeah, no
That's
problem.
okay.
um, I'm pasting in the chat this like visual like demo of how Cost Palette works.
Yes,
And it
please. That's what I
helps
was
people.
Googling
Oh,
myself.
I
Yes.
meant
Should
Cost
work. Yeah.
Palette. That was an
That should work.
autocorrect. I'm not sure why.
Um.
Cost Palette. So if you look at it, you
Oh
can
wait.
see like you can pull there's amplitude, frequency, and phase. And so if you
Yep.
pull them, you see the graph and you see how it affects the colors.
I'm gonna put it on the screen as well.
When I found it, I like
Here.
fell off my chair.
Ah,
It's
okay.
so helpful. And then you see like you have the code for the actual, I guess, RGB values below.
Should this work?
Wait, sorry, let me come back to the
I'm not in the code pen. Sorry, Maria. I was looking at
yes,
Liza's
exactly,
tool.
Mario. But I
We were
think that
looking at the
the
tool.
value
It's okay.
the
Let me see if they
value
off this one. Line
here,
41. Yeah.
I don't know if at 29 that can be 0. I think that there has to be like a value.
No,
Is
it's a
this one?
floating number. I think the first one it's always a floating number, so that's correct.
Yeah,
And
I
then you
like to
have
see
only
it.
vectors. I think it's correct. You have
Yeah.
Wait, but
3
why
vec.
isn't it
Oh wait,
working?
oh
Like,
because you have a 10. You have a 10. Sorry, in line
oh,
32.
Ah,
oh, and a
You're
comma
missing
here,
a
right?
you're
Right.
missing a dot.
it's
Oops.
always the
Prob-
decimal.
Probably the chat is screaming at us. So what I like
Yeah.
to, how I like to see it is like the first value or this float value, whatever you pass into it, kind of is how the palette or the gradient is going to behave, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we were to pass
Time,
the
for example.
STs or the
A
coordinates,
sign. Mm-hmm.
that just the x component, which is a gradient from left to right.
Mm-hmm.
I think we don't see it clearly right now, but if we multiply it by I don't know 10 or something,
Mm-hmm.
we should see lines if I'm correct, like No, we're not able to see that. Why is that?
Maybe
Maybe
because
if we
we are
wrap this into
doing.
a cosine and add a face like u time.
That's why I was thinking about adding time because then you really see the movement.
All right, is it working?
I don't see anything. I see the sun expanding for the moon.
It's interesting. Let me put this into a variable and call it like behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Is behave? I don't know how to float behave. It's well, let's see if view time is working.
Yeah.
It
I
should.
think you. Okay.
Hmm.
But no
It makes
color.
that
Interesting.
effect. It makes that effect, right? That
Yeah.
it's like starting and then coming back. So if you add sign, for example, will it go back and forth? At least can we see that? That it goes
Wait,
back and
is it working for you? Like I
Yeah.
just see like white.
No, it worked. And then now
I
it's,
only see
well, it's
white. Yeah.
continuous.
Weird. Maybe if if I refresh my page, nothing would happen, right? Like for the stream.
No.
No.
Okay,
No.
I'll go ahead. So just making sure. Okay.
I'm just gonna add something to see.
Okay.
So now it should bounce back and forth.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's weird. I just see like white color, like
Yeah, me
in the
too, me
screen.
too.
Like,
Oh, but
Really?
refresh. Sometimes you have to refresh the color on your end, Mario,
Oh, I
all
see it
right.
if it
going
gets
back and
stuck.
forth.
Do you see it back and forth?
Let me see. Let
Uh,
me do a hard refresh.
I'm gonna refresh myself too because I didn't see the back and forth one.
No, I don't see it back and forth, which is weird. But you see it, right?
Oh yeah, I see it now. I had to refresh myself as well. I had to refresh, so maybe it was my bad because I'm hosting the collab. So now you should see it, Mario, because now I
Let me see.
refresh.
Okay.
It got stuck for a second, but now it's there. So maybe that's why we couldn't see the.
Mm, I still don't see it, but let me see if I change some values of the face. No, I think there's
nothing.
something wrong on my end because if I change the code bin, it refreshes.
Ah, yeah, that's
Same.
true.
It
Wait,
goes
wait, wait,
forward, but then
wait.
it doesn't go.
I wonder if it's because we're using it with
Not
buffers
adding
enough.
gradient variable anymore.
We're not using the gradient anywhere. That's right.
Lol. Old
That's
Sagosha, popping in,
right.
Yeah,
spitting
thank you.
facts.
Thank you also, Gochi.
Thank you.
I think what we can do is this like if we pass the gradient to the
Three
color.
blind persons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A
seriously.
million dollars passing.
Thanks for
What's
the
that
chat.
nursery rhyme? Three blind mice. See how they run?
Yeah, yeah.
It's nice. It's nice.
Add
Uh,
it, please.
okay. I'm gonna use.
But I
I'm gonna.
swear I saw something happening, so I wonder what the fuck was because I saw
Let's
something coming in and coming down.
let's check. So if we do gradient, it should be the color. I think now.
Yes.
Gradient is vec3.
I'm. The debugger is frustrating today because it's not highlighting the thing. Usually
I
it
know.
highlights in red the thing and we can see it right away. What are we missing?
But the gradient is a vec3, so I don't understand. That
Yeah.
should have worked. Wait,
Maybe I
comment
messed
that?
something circ here. It should be green. Okay.
Now it's red.
Red,
Okay,
right?
everything's
Because I change
working.
it. So if I pass
Now let's
gradient,
pass gradient.
so it. Oh, of course, I have CST here in line 40, and I'm using it up here,
Huh?
which is a coordinate stuff. I'm sorry to the chat.
Zombie,
They
zombie.
must be screaming, but
Yeah.
all right. So this is a gradient, which is I think this is what it should be.
I see white.
Me
Yeah,
too.
because the color mix at the bottom, no? Don't we need that now?
I think
Oh
it
no.
shouldn't make a difference right now.
What if we comment the gradient for a second to see if at least we have the circle? I'm gonna comment the gradient, so just to see if
Okay.
we have our circle back, because the circle is gone too.
But the circle never gets added to the color, so I feel like that's normal.
But now,
Ah,
yeah,
yeah,
like
true.
if we don't have so if we circ, we should be looking at the
Now there
circle
should
right
be a
now.
circle. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Okay.
that worked. Okay, so
Okay.
then
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
we're back
Okay.
at square one. Well,
Yeah, exactly.
functional square one. No, but I love it. We're always like so on point, and then suddenly we
All
completely
right.
confuse ourselves.
What if like just to make sure that time is working because I feel it should like if we
It's working.
output cosine of u time. Yes,
Yeah.
okay, it's working,
Mm-hmm.
which is okay. So let's go back to sampling it and okay, color st gradient palette u.
But we need
Wait.
to apply the gradient, right? So we haven't applied it yet
Mhm.
again. So
Yes.
just
Okay.
to.
Just to make sure.
Oh,
st,
okay, you're still doing stuff. Mm.
okay.
Mm.
Okay. The
Thanks.
gradient. Yeah, of course.
Ah, okay. So
Okay.
you're
Oh,
Okay.
working
Okay.
that's
Okay.
there
Okay. It's working. All right. Good.
now.
cute.
Yes. Is it
Right
changing?
there.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wait. But
finally
it's
it's
like
changing.
burning at the end. So
Yeah.
Yes, like a star that
Eh,
is like about to explode. Um,
maybe we go back to what I had of this.
the
Oh yeah,
mix?
I remember what this line 42 color. I mean,
Uh-huh.
what line 42
oh.
does
Uh-huh.
is that it mixes a little bit of black over time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have a very small value here because if we were just sampling, I mean, if we were just uh, using the left side of this mix function, which should be 0, that means we're just like outputting
Have the same
the color, right? Which
that
should give
expands.
us back that burning
Yeah.
stuff because since it's accumulating over time, we start seeing all the color mashed up into
Over and
white.
over and over, so that means
Uh-huh. I
eventually we
think,
don't
yeah,
see anything even when something
right.
is happening, just because it's
So,
brighter, over brightness, over brightness.
so what I did in line 42 is just mix a little bit of black that resets that color.
Every
So,
time at the
right.
end of the explosion of the star, right? So
Exactly. So
Super
I think
nice.
now we can, I don't know, start
this is
really feeling
basically
it.
what made me think when I think about buffers into P5 again, the drawing call. Like
Mhm.
again, like if you don't have your line for it too, it's basically when you don't add the color of the background in P5 and then you see, the repetition of whatever you're drawing. But if always like you put a color on P5 and then you don't see that repetition like now, and you can actually see the animation. So I don't know.
But
I
the
associate with
diffuse,
that.
I love the diffuse. This is because of the line 21, right? The like diffusey glowiness
The line 21, which is the,
scale.
yeah,
21.
yes. I mean, if you remove scale, we will just see it, just a circle changing color, right?
Let's do that to see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
I mean, cute, but this is cuter.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it
It's
looks
so nice. It looks so like, I don't know.
like it feels like there's an ambience around
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Oh,
Which
so cool.
which is very nice. Yeah, I could look at it like for hours, but
It's because
Very
it
nice.
seems
And I
like it's
wonder if you do
pulsating
it right.
out and inhaling at the same time.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And we could even instead of, ooh,
I was just trying to, instead
She's
of
playing with.
black,
yeah,
just
you're
adding
changing
another.
like the color it mixes with.
Yeah, this color mix that
Um,
you're doing. The
mhm.
Oh, very interesting.
And we could like even because we have a fixed number here that's scaling the coordinates.
Mm-hmm.
I think we could also lay that too instead of be just 0.99. Maybe it could go 0.95 to 0.99. So
Mm-hmm.
it might look a little bit more like because I since you said Eliza like breathing like it reminded me maybe we used sine functions or
Mm-hmm.
math to do
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah.
So let's bring the functions that Lygia has in the math folder, which is math. One would be map. I think it would be nice also to bring the constants, which include like pi, 2
For
pi,
tau.
tau, and all that stuff.
Mm.
Math constants. So in float scale equals should be the same, I think. Yes. Okay. We're good. Cosine of u time goes from -1. For the chat, this is a
What is a
function
map
that
function? Can you explain for the ones that don't
yes,
know what is the mapping function
it's
doing?
a function that takes a value and remaps its output. That's it. For example, like here, the map function is taking as a parameter the cosine of time, which if you know how cosine behaves, is its range of values go from -1 to 1, right? So you need to put, like, for the next two parameters, what is the range of this value, which is from -1 to 1, and for the next other two parameters, the values that you want to remap those end and those start and end values to. So what this line does, like line 23, is that it remaps the cosine of u time that naturally goes from -1 to 1 to 0.99 and 1. But that's not like the values I want. I want like 0.9 and 0.95, which is what we had before. I don't remember. Or like,
We had 99, no?
yeah. So it should like go very fast and then come back to, which is maybe 0.95.
Cool.
Perhaps a little bit more subtle.
It's so pretty.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's like a little
Very
soft,
relaxing.
meditative. Yeah.
And I think it looks a little bit more of that kind of breathing, or
Yeah, totally.
so just
Yeah.
that little cosine behavior to it, which is nice. And I don't know, we could use there's a ton of functions that l𝗏 has. We could try out those noise functions, which make it
Ooh.
Oh yeah, let's
What
add
are your
noise.
What are your
Bring it, bring
favorite
it.
ones that you reach for?
right.
Often?
I've been reaching a lot for curl noise.
Okay.
Then
Curl
bring that
noise.
in. Show
Yeah,
us,
let's bring
because
that in. I
you
implemented
that's
that the
something
other
that I
day
don't
too.
use
Yes, curl
at
noise
all.
is very
So
interesting
pretty.
in feedback effects because it kind of dissolves the color of everything. If you see like in some of my works that I share daily on Instagram, like from a week or so, or like for months or so, there's sometimes color that looks like if were like clouds or paint. Sometimes that's through using curl noise, which is nice. Okay, so let me
By the
see
way,
a second.
Daniel was saying that he normally remaps stuff with smooth step, and I was gonna say that me too. So
Yeah.
I never ever use the map function, but instead I use smooth
Okay,
step.
yeah,
So which
it's
is like it's like a clamp as well for the ones
Yeah,
that
I
comes
use
from
clamp.
JavaScript or like P5. So it would be like clamping to map
Or else I like
things.
write a map
So it's
function.
like
There's so many of them on
yes, yes,
GitHub.
yes.
that too. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Daniel, for the tip.
Yeah.
All right.
I just want to take a moment to shout out that Daniel has a really nice shader course, email
Yeah.
course that
Right.
I have been enjoying a lot.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too, me too, me too. Shout
And
out for
his
And his
Daniel.
newsletter.
newsletter
And
in general is out of this world.
can you
I don't know
put the
where you
link
find the time.
of your newsletter,
Yes.
Daniel, so that I can put it up on the screen? Because
Screen. I think it's off-screen canvas. Let me see.
Yeah.
Here it is.
The
if you
demos
can
are
put it on the
extremely
chat, and then I
inspiring.
will put it. Because
I put it in the
yeah.
chat. Yeah.
yes, for the ones
Yeah,
that
it's
don't
like
know.
if for the ones that don't know, the newsletter of Daniel is like top, very.
Definitely top, just top.
Yes. Some
Yeah.
of the like the unique or few resources out there that shares about WebGL in general and
Yeah.
shaders and like visuals and graphic stuff, which is very nice. So go subscribe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go subscribe to Daniel's newsletter. It's really cool.
But then on the side, he has a really nice introduction to shaders email course that you can like also sign up for.
Totally free as well.
And he's adding an instancing course.
Ooh,
Ooh,
nice.
that I'm excited for.
Oh,
You should
okay.
also do particles.
Particles
Yes,
also.
yes, particles.
Please.
I vote for particles as well, please.
Oh yeah. But he did.
Think
I was just staring at his one of his demos on Curl Noise
hmm
Mm.
like last week when I was trying to figure out my
Yeah,
particles.
yeah. I remember like Daniel had this very interesting article that talked about instancing, like, but I think
Hmm.
he wrote it
And
probably two
particles
years
too.
ago or something. But it was
3, I
like
think, even
very
a long time.
insightful. Like,
Mm.
so I hope he continues with that. So,
It's a thing. A lot of newsletters that I've read over the years, when you get them, it's like overwhelming information. But Daniel's,
mhm.
I'm always like, ooh, what am I
It's
going to
short
learn
and
today?
sweet.
Yeah, short and sweet, and it's inspiring and always colorful.
Yes,
Super nice.
Yeah, yeah.
yes,
I don't like when it's too long, to be honest, because
Oh,
I
yeah,
lost. I get distracted
yeah,
so easily, So if this,
yeah,
I've subscribed to newsletter that so much that I read
yeah.
the first two sentences and then I'm like, oh,
yeah.
then I just
If
go
it's
back
going to
to
be
another
long,
thing.
put it in a podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, or on a blog post, I feel.
Exactly.
So, like when I feel like reading, I do sometimes, but a newsletter, like
Totally.
sometimes that comes in my inbox, I prefer that it's just like short and sweet and maybe a
Yeah.
link
Yeah,
if it's
And also
expanded.
like instancing is and those kind of subjects are things that I would want to learn like in chunks, like
totally.
Hmm.
not like
Hmm.
in
Agree.
in a
Yeah,
seating.
yeah, because
Seat.
the brain explodes every time with this
Oh, well,
kind of
thank you.
content.
It's actually because of you that he shortened his newsletter. I didn't know that they were longer before, but
They were
I
a
think
bit.
you've been subscribing longer than me.
I gave a lot of, or I give a lot of feedback to Daniel. So
Oh, wow.
I'm
And
so
the
happy that
Oscar
he always
canvas is
here.
also you. That's so cool.
Yeah,
Nice,
cool.
great.
Yeah, thanks for
Uh,
listening, for the feedback. So what should
yeah,
we continue trying, Mario? You were
Okay,
gonna
let's
bring the
do
curl
curl noise,
noise.
no?
yeah. I was going to bring Crow Noise. It is in the generative folder in l𝗏𝗀 by yeah. So it's crow.glsl I think. Um,
Mm,
right, and curl noise takes like noise. I think curl noise takes. I don't have like a. Oh well, do I have the l𝗏𝗀? Yeah, I think I have it here. So if you go
takes a UV
to
probably, right? Like a vector
yeah,
two.
I think it
It
takes
probably
three
takes the UV,
vector three. See now it's like curl. Yeah, there's many. You can pass like a
like the
two.
position.
Yeah, yes, position or a 3D vector or a 4D vector.
Mm. And
So I'm
imagine
gonna
maybe
pass
time as well,
like a
like a
three. Yeah.
floating.
So it's C pause, vec three, like for curl position, uh, ST and U time. So that's like the parameter we're going to pass to the curl function, right? So vec three CN curl noise. No, CN curly curly takes curl C pause, and that should be it. Yes, should be yes. Okay. So what we need to do now, like to be able to see the kernel noise, is to add it. We can add it to the coordinates which we're
Hmm.
transforming here, but we will need to just add the x and y components of the curly or the kernel noise variable. So it's st plus equals curly dot xy, and we should see everything very weird. I think now because we
We
should.
see nothing.
Now I see nothing.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
see
me
nothing.
neither. Me neither.
Oh,
Maybe
wait,
we
no, I just saw something go by.
Yeah.
there you go.
Very
There you go.
faint.
Like
Ah,
it needs to be like
there.
Ooh,
very,
that's so
very
cool.
little. I think. Yeah. Right. So,
Okay, so it has to
and
be super,
also
super, super small.
yes,
Yeah,
and we need to like to be able to see a little bit more of that curl noise behavior. It serves good like to multiply the STs for a scalar, or sometimes I call it like a frequency. So
yeah,
ST times
frequent,
oh,
freak. Yeah.
so we would see the curl noise a little bit more there, right? So
Oh,
Ah,
wow.
right.
it's
The
yeah,
frequency
so
That's
part.
really pretty.
Cool,
it is.
cool.
So
Oh, I
you
love
can
it.
kind of see the behavior of
Now
that
it's like a
curls
sheet
that
is coming out of
uh-huh.
this
If you
sphere,
yeah maybe 20
like some kind of fabric, So when
yeah
you're waving fabric.
right like a little bit more and and sometimes
That's really cool.
yes, it is. It's very nice. Yeah, like very mesmerizing. I'm looking at the screen like I'm forgetting what I'm about to talk. Like, yeah. So yeah, scroll
Oh,
noise is something
you
I
get a
really like.
little paw clap in the chat from
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Jovian Graceful.
𝗏𝗏𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀 is saying now we're talking. And two hearts.
Yeah, I,
Oh, also
that's
looking good. Oh
that's the
yeah.
thing. Like feedback, like setting up all this stuff, like passes, feedback, double buffers, whatever. It takes a process, right? But once you have everything set into place, very little values give you amazing results.
Mm,
Like
Mhm.
so I think GLSL pipeline helps to create that workflow
To
yeah.
easier
shorten
for
the
you
bridge.
to get into like
Yeah.
the shader or the visual compositing or effects, whatever. And this is just like 2D shaders. Like I mentioned, you can also use 3D scenes with 3JS and think about it like if the geometries were your ingredients in a recipe or materials and you were going
Mm.
to stir them, like stirring
Mm.
them or adding them salt, whatever would be like the effects you add to that first composition, right? So I like to think about it like that. It's very good like for compositing effects, which I recommend for everybody. So
Patricio approves. You got a big heart from him.
no,
Mhm.
thank you.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah.
thanks. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Oh,
We
and
all
Nicole
appreciate
definitely it'll
Patricia.
be on CodePen. Don't worry. We share them
Okay, yeah,
always. Yeah.
Yes,
and
yes, yes. We're always sharing, by the way, for the ones that are watching, maybe not right after this, but normally after a few days when we push the replay on YouTube, then at the same time the code pen is always there with all
Yeah,
this
you'll
yeah,
have
code.
the
So
base.
you'll have
yeah.
a base to follow and rewatch this, for example,
Uh-huh.
on YouTube, and then yeah,
And also,
you'll
you
have
have like any questions, you can reach out to me. I hope I can answer them. If not, you can ask Patricio. Which
it.
I hope it doesn't mind. but but yeah, maybe we can continue fiddling around with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm enjoying already. Like this is like
Mhm.
very cool and just a few lines of code. That's why.
Yeah,
But that's it, right? I feel like often, well, I know in my case, anyways, the buffer thing can be really intimidating. And so it can definitely kind of
Mm,
discourage you if you're getting stuck there. But once you get the setup down, and in this case, now you can do it really simply,
hmm
like you're saying, you get to play around and you get these really quick, beautiful results. It's
yeah.
really wild. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And
So
also, like it would be nice, like maybe we can take this image we're looking at screen and add some kind of yeah, post processing or effect,
mm,
because it would be nice to introduce buffers, the buffer texture. So like in the
oh
beginning, I
yeah, yeah.
mentioned like
Show us, Mario, all of this stuff that you
right.
are good at.
So you
Hmm.
use double buffer and the number of the buffer you're using. Like if you were to use another double buffer, it would
Hmm.
be uh,
Or the one
you
at
double
the end,
buffer
right?
one and so on. I don't know how many you can make, but I don't think you will be ever be using more than 10. I might be wrong,
I was thinking
but
about 10 and then my computer exploding maybe.
yeah,
yeah,
I think your GPU might explode into a
right.
little flame ball. But you were saying these are like
But two or
reserved
three is
words?
fine.
Yeah. So what GLSL pipeline does is it when you load the shader, it's searching the shader for this uniforms at the top, and depending this reserved variables like u double buffer or u buffer or I think those I might be forgetting one, but if GLSL pipeline finds those names, it branches and
Just
creates
like
the
cool.
different passes behind scenes. I think
Hmm.
I might be
Like a
wrong,
shader fractal.
but if
I love
not,
it.
yeah.
Hmm.
So it's very nice. So if we define sampler 2D, you should uh, you buffer 0. Okay,
It shows
so
an
you
error.
buffer 0
Oh no,
No,
and
we're good.
I thought it was going to show an error. I was like, no.
and after this if statement, like uh, make another macro that says if defined buffer 0, do something, right? So whatever code we execute here or is the thing that the buffer is going to save in the image, I think.
Hmm.
The, down
So
on line 56. Yeah.
if we take this line we were using before that it's
Hmm.
outputting a double buffer to the screen,
Hmm.
okay, we want to make a stage in between that creates a buffer that contains that double buffer.
Hmm.
I'm hearing myself, but it might sound a
And
little
the
bit confusing.
buffer
But
and the other
bear
buffer.
with me.
Buffer, a buffer. It's like the little Russian dolls, you know? A
Right?
buffer and a
Yeah,
Yes,
buffer and a buffer.
yes,
yeah. Right.
yes.
Yeah, that's nice.
By the way, now we're making a single buffer, right? To understand, before you did a double buffer, and now you're making a single
What we're
buffer.
doing now is we should see everything cool now. I think no, because
Um,
let's define. Oh,
so you declared it.
Yeah, here it
it's
is.
weird.
Bring it into your.
Is it really called you for you buffer
Am
zero?
I?
Yeah.
I don't.
U
I
buffer.
think you buffer
Yeah.
zero. I might be wrong. I have. I think I have something
Is the
color.
uniform not named like
Yeah,
that?
I think it's called like that.
Patricio says line 55,
Line
if def
55.
should be elif.
Oh yes,
Ah,
that's.
right. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Patricia.
Thanks, Patricio.
Of course.
So
You say as
that
usual,
should
we are
okay.
blind
Line 55 elif def
elif instead
elif.
of, yeah, exactly.
without def. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's because I
The def is only at the beginning of the statement, right? So if def, and then the rest doesn't have the def.
well, what I was doing like before is you can also use. Let me see.
Wait, else if
So
you put
wait, check
L.
the comments. Check the comments. Elif defined buffer
Yeah.
all caps 0.
Oh, okay.
Buffer all caps 0. Yeah, I think you
Sorry.
Yes.
need. Yeah.
Mm, I thought it was else. Why do we need to wrap it inside the
There we go.
define?
Oh, there's you can use it both ways, like just elif and I think this is a more descriptive way, like else if defined and in parentheses buffer zero. It's another way to writing it. So
Because above you, oh no, above you also had the define actually, so
yeah, I
never
just
mind.
changed it like to see if it worked, like both
Ah,
line
Oh,
okay.
53
okay.
and
Because it
so
didn't
I think
work
it
when you
works.
didn't have the define, right?
Yeah, I don't know. So because I made this example like last night, I
I'm
just
gonna
like
remove it again, but I don't think it worked when that's why look if we remove it, so you actually need to always use the define when you use the if else
Elif,
macros,
yeah.
I suppose.
yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah.
cool. But well,
It
it says
works.
it says that my call ends in 50 minutes.
Again?
Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, because
yeah.
it's an hour, no? It's always
Ah,
every
okay.
hour.
Well, anyway,
That being
how
said, I actually
you have
have
to
to
go,
leave
right?
at
Anyway,
6.
around that time.
I wish
So
I could
then
stay for another hour, but
let's
I feel
slowly
like we
then
need to
because
do part
Eliza
2,
had to.
a Mario part 2.
Yeah. I mean, I think 15 minutes are
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
show
we
us
could
like
do
in
tons in 15 minutes.
show us in half the time, show us what you wanted to do, and then the other half to say
Yes. So
goodbye.
I was going to finish saying that we were sampling that double buffer,
Mm-hmm.
but now we have a regular buffer in between. So what we have now is okay, from here to here, we're doing the feedback stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're storing that feedback stuff in a texture, which is
Mm-hmm.
buffer zero.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're sampling that buffer zero texture. So
And buffer series is a single buffer. That was the thing that I was asking before as well.
yeah,
Like,
a
that was,
single buffer,
yeah.
like a regular buffer that
Mm-hmm.
just makes a pass with whatever it's you define to it. So
Did I comment that right? I was trying to comment what you were saying.
hey,
Store
yeah, I
feedback in
think
a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
texture and
I
then
thought it was
sampling
Mario,
buffer
but
in
it's
a
perfect.
texture.
Yeah.
Okay.
so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put this here and then
And then
image
up here is the creative feedback loop.
right
Creative feedback
and
loop.
okay, I
Sorry.
messed something
No,
up.
it's me. I'm just writing
Okay.
comments. Oh,
Oh
I
yeah,
was wrong. Sorry.
There's something wrong.
semicolons.
I love that it's always a semicolon though. It's like
Yeah,
you're always terrified. It's like, what did I mess up?
right. Yeah.
It's just a dot.
Or the floating, or the dot and the floating
Always. Yeah.
Mhm.
point
So
there.
whatever we do here would affect the texture in a whole, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
STs we have, maybe we can add a little bit of interference, like
Mm-hmm.
ST that X times I don't know 100,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and this will affect the texture. I think. Yes, like you
It's
see,
What?
right?
I always feel like these things are
amazing.
like impossibly complicated, and it's not
And
actually
it's
that
just a
Yeah,
complicated.
a one liner.
Wow.
right, right.
Oh,
So
cool.
that's going back to what I said at the beginning. That's the
Mm,
interesting thing about this. Like you can really start to
mm,
composite or to create your chain of effects with double buffers, with buffers,
mm.
and yeah, and like sky's the limit for real. Like
Previous frames. That's the key. I love it.
yes, yes.
It's so
Cool, cool.
pretty.
Mhm.
Wow.
And even like I don't know, I don't want the all the three channels of a texture. I just want the a black and
The
white
red
texture,
channel.
which is
Yeah.
might be
Mm.
similar, right? Or flip it.
Oh, and you can swizzle. It's
Yeah,
true.
you can
And you can
swizzle.
flip
You
it.
can
It looks very similar though to my eyes, the color.
right,
Oh, now I see the difference. Yeah, yeah, nice.
right. Oh, cosine of this,
Totally.
Yeah,
like U
yeah,
time.
cool. Ah,
This might
so cool.
be weird, but whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, just to see something different on screen. Like,
it's really
oh,
work.
Okay, now I'm like really,
nice,
really
really
hyped
black.
up to get back to pseudo dailies.
Yeah.
Yes, come back, Liza,
I'm
for
gonna do
Christmas,
it
for the
for
holidays.
Yes.
Christmas. A gift to myself.
Yeah, this
Yes,
is a
I could come
perfect
back to my
excuse.
dailies.
the
Like,
perfect
Yeah,
time
give
to be
yourself like.
cozy. You know, it's winter in
true.
here, so then
Oh,
we're
and I'm
more
gonna be in the
indoor.
Spanish mountains. I'm
Mhm.
very excited.
Oh, so then
Yeah.
it's not cold for you, right? Or
Cold-ish. It's on the border
Mm.
with France. It's in this place called 𝗦𝗲𝘀. There's
okay.
occasional snow.
Oh, okay. Because I thought
There's
you were
like a
gonna be
wood
in the part
burning
of Spain that
fire.
is like summer.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, 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 no. We're in the
oh,
north.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me
that
see
would be cool.
if this works already. Like,
Kaleidoscope. What's that? Did you bring
yeah,
another
Kaleidoscope.
function? What
yeah.
is that
There's a
function? Tell
function
us. Tell us.
um
From Lydia.
well I kind of uh, made a pull request like a couple days ago to add
Mm-hmm.
it to Leisure because I think
This
it's
is the one
really
you made.
Oh,
well.
you created Kaleidoscope?
He
I
contributed to Lygia.
yeah. I mean,
Ah,
I really like just kind of added what I've found on the internet like a long time ago,
okay.
Oh, it's
I
so
really
pretty.
didn't liking it.
So
So
cool.
you can change
And
the
what
sections
is
and
it
how many
doing?
it's doing. It's transforming the space. It's kind of I think they call it like it's reflecting polar coordinates
I
at
was
some.
gonna say, for sure, there's like a polar coordinate
Yeah,
fract in there or
Mm,
but it
something.
looks
No.
like it transforms like a Cartesian space or like 2D regular
mm-hmm.
Duval space into kaleidoscope space, which I like to call it like. So maybe this ST ratio ST
Oh,
view
so nice.
resolution.
Oh, I love it even more. Wait, you put resolution with
Oh,
an I. Like,
sorry.
did you see that?
Oh,
Did you see your
yeah,
Yep.
typo? Yeah.
he got it.
Sorry.
No, no, no. It's
Don't
so
be.
you're getting all the love from Patricio in the comments also.
This
Oh, so
Yes,
nice.
yes.
right. So
Oh,
like
I
a
love it.
Mhm.
Wow. I love it even
right. Yeah.
more.
It's
That's really cool.
Very
I know
trippy. That's how I like it.
it's really nice.
Yes, it's true.
I
It's
like
on
that I'm
theme for you,
tripping it.
Alicia. It's true.
Oh,
Our
yes, I really
psychedelic
like
dreams come
trip.
true.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think I mean I could go for this like forever, but it would be
Of
nice like
course,
if
me too. I could just
Oh,
keep
now
digging
see,
on
you're
it.
getting a question, Mario. Any plans to ever put together an online course of your own? 'Cause I have to
Oh,
say,
uh,
yeah.
I agree with Sagosha. You are extremely
Mm.
great at explaining clearly all the things.
I have thought about it, but I think I would need to find the time or like I don't know what would like people like to learn about. Like I could share my process or like what we were looking at, or I don't know.
I think
Maybe I would think
literally
about it. Like, mm.
anything you wanted to share, people would be excited. I feel like,
Hmm.
have you ever considered just starting a newsletter talking about the thing that you're excited about today?
I
I don't know.
haven't. I
If
mean,
you don't have
yeah.
time, don't add anything to
We,
it, please.
It's
we,
not that
we
I
don't
don't have the
necessarily
time,
want to
right?
put pressure on you,
No, no,
no?
no,
But it's just
never,
like
never. It's
people
more like people are
just,
excited.
so.
Maybe like if it were like something more relaxed newsletter that I
Yeah.
post like every now and then. I think I would
Do
take
it
that
like
into
me. I do
consideration.
like I
Uh,
think the last time I did it was 2 months ago.
yeah,
Oh, but
because
yours
they
are so great. Alethea has also a newsletter on Stack
Yes, but
Overflow, not Stack Overflow.
yeah,
What am I
yeah,
saying?
Substack,
Substack,
Substack.
yeah
where
But it's
she
very
draws
like
out. Oh, but it's so great. She does
right
not like
visualizations.
Danielle.
She's
Danielle sends constantly, like every 2 weeks or
yeah
every week lately. So,
like
yeah.
which
yeah
is
two
very
weeks or
nice.
so. I don't
Yeah.
know,
I
but
like
yeah,
the idea of a casual.
I'll think about it. If people are interested, maybe I could have something to share about my journey in the graphics world and creative coding
Definitely.
that might help
A
people
blog
with it.
post. Then you don't have to
Yeah.
do it
Yeah, or a
often.
blog post.
Just
Like,
the post.
yeah,
See,
I mean,
like dailies for art, I think is a really nice practice as a visual artist, but like forcing yourself to write a daily newsletter, not necessarily. But if you
no.
have something you're excited about to share, then yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I kind of did a couple of blog posts when I was more into web development in
Mm.
this site that is called Code Drops. But it
Ah,
was like,
yeah.
yeah, it was my intro like to stuff like 3JS and learning, sharing how to make, I don't know, effects or something like that. Uh,
Patricio says go for it, just saying.
Go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Yeah, I might consult you, Patricio, to know if I make one to see your point of view. So and of course Eliza and Elithya too. So and everyone want to be involved. So
I would read it.
Yes,
Mario
me
Code
too, of
Drops
course.
era. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
a different era. Like I said,
yeah.
I started like in web development, but web development got me 3JS into more into shaders,
Mm.
and now the only line I make of CSS is just like to position a fixed canvas on the
Yeah,
screen, stuff like that,
exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Right. So, but still, it's like there's a place in my heart into it, you know. So,
Mm-hmm.
Always.
By the way, before
Always.
we are disconnected, do you want to tell us then something that you, before we're cut off suddenly, from the chat in
um,
here, do you have anything coming up that you would like to
That you want
share
to
with the
tell us about?
community? Like, you know, upcoming
yeah.
things,
Well, I might
projects
have
that you
like
want to
some
share?
projects. Um, well, maybe a little bit of surprise later, but I don't know. Maybe for what's to come in December, I might drop
Mm,
a work in FX Hash or something like that
okay.
for
That's
the
exciting.
FX
Do you
Hash
want to
2.0.
share with the chat
Oh, yeah.
your FX hash
Do I
profile?
have? Let me see. Let me see if I have. I don't have. I mean, I don't have it up online somewhere, but I do have it. Like I can run it in my screen and share a screen if that's possible. But I think it's too much of a hassle
I think
because
that
No,
it's
no, but
no,
if
no.
you
I,
want,
I
you can
meant
share your
your
profile
profile. I
and
meant
people
just
can
your
follow.
profile. So no, that's why I meant the URL profile of your FX hash so that people has it
oh
online.
oh oh
That's what I meant,
oh.
not the project itself. No, no, no.
Okay okay
No,
okay.
keep that
Okay.
secret until you're
All
ready
right.
to launch
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep
I
it
mean.
secret.
Okay. Yeah.
I
No.
meant the
I think I will
URL.
keep it. I keep it. So it's a surprise.
Very
I don't know.
excited. It's
Yeah. I've been a little bit on pause in this like NFT stuff, but uh, but I still like the community and everything. So I think it was very nice
same.
to bring up like that same energy that's gonna be coming for in this case FX Hash 2.0, right? So
2.0. It's true.
2.0.
The FX Hash group is so lovely.
Yeah, and like the documentation and the new way to make projects is like very easy to, and I
Thorough.
think they
Yeah.
put a really good work into it, and uh, and yeah, well, other than that, thanks everyone for the time. If you have any questions or wanted to say hi or ask or just like talk, you can ping me on Twitter, Instagram,
Oh, I never show
or
your
email,
Twitter.
whatever.
Yes,
Mm, right.
I'm gonna show
So
your Twitter online. I
You have to
couldn't
come
find you on
back
FX
on, Mario,
hash,
to do this in 3D.
hash, by the
yeah,
way.
yeah, I would love to come back in another space to Curiously Minded and try this with a 3D scene, right? So it
Yeah.
involves more of 3JS, geometry,
Cool.
maybe try other
Did you remove
Lygia like
your
filter
photo,
effects.
Mario,
Yeah.
Did I what?
on Twitter?
Did I what?
Is your Twitter Mario Carrillo?
No, no, my tweet is Mario ECG,
EG.
like ECG.
I
Ah,
had trouble finding him before
oh
too. I
my
was like,
God.
wait, I know. And
I
then I was
landed on
shocked that
another Mario
yeah.
Carrillo and I was like,
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no.
There's
It's
many
funny.
actually.
It's funny because there's like a very fun fact. There's like a very I don't know famous. I don't know much soccer like Mexican soccer, but turns out like there's a technical director of soccer called Mario Carrillo,
ah,
and
that's
sometimes like
why.
there's people that have been like messaged me or
Uh-huh.
reply me on Twitter that oh your football direction sucks or something like that, or like telling me that oh you messed around in this
Wow.
soccer team, and I'm like oh sorry. I
Not
mean I
That
don't
me.
was,
answer them, but it's fun. Like
yeah,
why
yeah,
did you
for
put this
sure.
player into the game or whatever? And
Or why are you doing art now?
yeah, what happened to
To
football,
football,
like
yeah.
soccer football? But
Oh,
yeah,
that's
Thank
really
you, Old
funny.
Sagosha.
yeah. Thanks. Well,
Yeah,
thanks to both
people
of
is
you,
saying
Alicia and
inspiring
Liza.
stream.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And yeah, hopefully I can come back another time with
definitely. This
more
was really,
interesting
really
stuff.
great.
Yeah, it was lovely
Great.
to have you, Mario, finally, after a year of talking about it. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
it was great to learn as well how to use Patricia's glsl.
Yeah. Good stuff. Keep
Um,
it further. Thank you, Patricia.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
Always.
thank
Thank
you,
you,
because I
Patricia.
haven't
Always.
been willing to put the time to learn how to do this, but it's literally using glsl. We were on the browser, so that was really great.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yay. I'm so
Cool.
excited to do my dailies.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So
Yep.
um,
thank you
we're,
everybody who logged in today to
yeah.
chat with us, to watch Mario, to see the stream. Um, when are we gonna
And we'll be
come
back
back?
soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do another one before like the
For
holidays, right?
holidays? Okay.
Definitely. I
Yeah,
think we can
yeah,
do one before Christmas.
yeah. Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm up for it as well. So then
Yeah.
let's do that.
Yay.
So.
All right. Thanks,
I
Oh,
need
everybody.
there's your
to.
fan, the one that I was
There he
talking about,
is.
Mario. He's
Yay.
Hola,
there.
Katian.
That yeah,
Oh, thank
exactly.
Etienne,
you.
no? From
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Montreal,
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
my
you,
home
Yes.
Katian.
city.
Yeah. We were talking
I hope
about
you
you, by the
enjoyed it.
way, earlier.
You missed
I hope
it, but
you
we were,
enjoyed
yeah,
it.
we had this whole
I was
moment.
just saying you're Mario's biggest fan.
Thanks. Thanks. Well, if you didn't watch it, it's gonna be on
Hmm.
YouTube.
Definitely, there'll be
Hmm.
a replay up on YouTube.
And you
Probably,
can.
what day is it today? Yeah, probably
I
by the
don't know.
weekend.
Thursday?
It's
Mhm.
Oh,
Thursday, right?
great.
Yeah.
So
I'll
then
try and
then
do it this
we
weekend.
we'll
It says
post
that
the
my
plan as
call
well.
ends under a minute. Like,
Yeah,
should
yeah. We're going to
I
get
say
cut
bye
off in
now?
like 60 seconds, you guys. But thank you, everyone, for being here.
Bye. Thank
We'll
you,
post
everybody.
as soon as the replay is up.
Right.
Yeah. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
How do you do that this way? I can't.
Bye.
I'm not.